All right. Okay, so if you haven't done so already, make sure that you do your RSVP. Even if you're not going, you just need to RSVP and put no as your response. Hopefully, I'll see a lot of you tomorrow at Anderson Farms. And then again on Halloween, we're going to meet at Cantrell. That's our office. And we'll have a little project to do and then party. So that'll be cool. All right, but today what we're going to do is we're going to share our maps and our scales that we created the last time that we were working with the moon, Mars, and beyond. Um, so that's what we'll do first. And then we'll move into a new lesson. And this is actually my favorite lesson out of all of them, just because I really like coordinate mapping. I don't know, I'm kind of weird, but um, it's actually really fun. So. And then at the end of class, I have a little assignment for you to do. It'll take you probably 10 minutes. So, yeah. Okay, but first things first, let's go ahead and start by sharing our maps and our scales that we created. And you could have done any room in your house, your bedroom or living room or whatever you wanted. So, do I have any volunteers to go first?
Well, I have a question. How do you share it?
I'm going to make you the presenter. So if you pull it up on your screen, we'll be able to see your screen instead of mine.
Okay.
Yeah, so all you have to do is just open it on your computer and that's how we'll show it.
So I can go first because you had sent me an email telling me what to do, so I already have it up.
Perfect. Okay, Tristan, so I'm going to make you the presenter.
Okay,
Okay.
and how are you going to do that?
Something is going to come up on your screen right now and it says
Oh, I see it.
yeah. Yep.
So show my screen, should I say that?
That's right. Yep.
Okay, so it's on show my screen.
Okay. It'll take just a second.
Is it showing my screen?
Yes, it is. There it is. Perfect. Okay, so we
Hi.
see, yay, it worked. All right, Tristan, so go ahead and explain. Will tell us, what room this is, tell us about your map scale, and then, of course, everything else we see.
Yeah, sorry, let me just fix this up real quickly. Okay, now it will work.
Yeah.
So I made a map of my bedroom as
Okay.
I like my bedroom. And I made a scale that says that each square is a quarter of a meter.
Oh, okay. A quarter of a meter. So, um, if we're thinking about feet, customary scales, about how long would that be?
Probably about 1 foot.
About 1 foot. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. Okay, so
So,
tell us about your legend.
yeah, the blue. So I said that the blue, like right here,
Hmm.
is the closet.
Ooh, it's a big
And
closet.
then I made that the pinks are the desk.
Oh, good.
And
You
then the orange was supposed to be the bed.
is the bed. Perfect. Okay.
Because
All right.
with oh sorry, oops. And with everything else, I didn't make a legend of it.
Oh, well,
I
that's
because
okay.
I just wrote it on the paper.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I can see heater and I can see your chair
There's something in
Yeah,
these
and your
in my
shelf
ears.
and your door.
Like
Perfect.
something are in these ears.
and the reason I did one quarter of a meter is because my room is really small. That's why if I had done 1 meter, or then I would have had to use like this much of the paper
Oh, I see what you're saying because I,
for
I
each
was
one.
kind of I was wondering about that, when it said one square equals 1/4 of a meter. So that's why you did that. So you wanted it to be reflective of
Like as
how
big as the
small.
whole paper.
Right. That makes a lot of sense. Well, thank you, Tristan. That was wonderful. Um,
Thank
do I
you.
have a volunteer to go next?
I can.
I
Okay, who said that first? Was that you, Clara?
yeah, it was
Yeah.
her.
Okay, so then Tyler can go after Clara. So I'm going to make Clara the presenter. So you'll see something that comes up on your screen that says show my screen. So go ahead and, oh, perfect.
You can see it?
Yep.
If my, there's my picture.
Okay.
Okay.
So
Oh, you
this
want to put it
is
up?
whoa, what's happening?
Don't.
Okay,
All
so
right,
this is
Clara.
hi.
Hi.
Um
Hey.
Hi, Deanjane. Hi,
so
Micah. Glad you can join us. Right now, we are sharing our scales and our maps that we created the last time that we did the Moon, Mars, and Beyond program. So right now, Clara is about to explain her scale.
okay, so um this is my scale or key, and 2 squares equals about 1 centimeter, and 1 centimeter equals 1 meter.
Okay.
And then this is my kitchen, and so
Wow.
this is like an island counter.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I
and
Okay.
used
this
to have
is a
one of these.
refrigerator. These are cabinets, and it's like a counter like that goes all the way, like that goes like this. And so there's a window here and a sink, and there's cabinets here too. And
Sure.
then that's my dog's dog house.
Oh, how fun.
And then there's another window right here and a door, and then there's a light switch.
Okay.
And this is a doorway, and this is a doorway.
Yeah.
And this is our table, and that's my mom's desk, and that's the oven and microwave, and then there's the pantry.
Perfect. Okay, and so I'm looking at this, and this a kitchen is usually bigger than, like a little bedroom, and so this makes a lot of sense. I'm looking at her scale, and she's saying that 1 centimeter. Okay, so 1 centimeter is about 2 squares. I'm kind of oh, you can't see my screen anymore or my mouse, but so if you look really closely, the lines are kind of light. So 2 squares equals 1 centimeter and that would equal 1 meter. So that makes a lot of sense. When you look at that table, it looks like it's about 2 meters long, and that's, a normal size type of kitchen table. And her island, it looks like that's maybe about the same size, maybe a little smaller. So that's maybe like a meter, maybe 2 meters long. And so, yeah, that definitely makes sense. So that was a really good scale and really good map that you did, Clara.
Thank
Yay.
you.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll make Tyler our next presenter, and he can show us his map.
Yeah, give me a sec. I am trying to get this to work.
Perfect. Well, we see your screen. Um,
You
oh,
see it?
wow. You did yours using like a computer program.
Yeah.
I
Ooh.
love it. Okay, go ahead and explain what we're looking at.
All right. Well, my key is the lines going across to the right are a wood door. Then the dots
Uh-huh.
across are they are mirror doors,
Oh,
like sliding doors, in other words.
yep.
And then 1 block equals 2 square. Um, can't see it. 2 square feet though. I mean 2 square
Meters.
equals yeah.
Okay.
Keep on messing up.
All right. Okay, so two squares, and these are tiny little squares, so that does make sense.
Yeah.
He's saying that two of those little squares equals 2 meters. So we're gonna look at basically a really pretty big bed. Um, what size bed is that?
Uh, I don't know, but it's a really big bed.
Okay, so yeah, that would
I
make
mean, it
sense
blocks
then.
most of my room.
Yeah, and your table and your closet, your entertainment center, and your bookshelf and your dresser. Okay, that looks really good, Tyler. And I like how you used the computer program to show that. That was awesome.
Yeah, my dad helped me set it up. He's a master at that type of stuff.
Perfect. Okay, well, do I have a volunteer to go next? Anybody else make a map of their room?
I
AJ?
did.
Okay, was that you, Adam?
No, that was me,
Who's me?
Clara.
Claire.
Oh, yeah. Well, we saw yours, Clara. And it's okay. I know it's been a long fall break, and some people might not have looked at the agenda until this very morning and didn't know that they needed to bring that. Um,
Yeah, me too.
but that's okay. I mean, we can go back to that at the end of class if you guys are able to find it, or you can just email it to me, and that might be even easier. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it back over to my screen.
Sorry. Oh, hey, ma'am. I mean, Mrs. Bruns.
Yeah.
My mom was just wondering the quarter grade thing. The going from topic 1 to topic 10. Those weren't typos, right? Those were supposed to be done. I just want to make sure, right?
Yeah, well, okay,
Okay.
and he's talking about sixth grade. So fourth and fifth graders, you can just kind of tune out for just a second. Um, but yeah, so sixth grade is considered middle school, and so middle school and high school will get quarter grades, and so you have to have all of your work done for quarter number one by October 24th, which is this coming Thursday. So anyway, what would happen? And I sent out a little thing to sixth graders only, and it said you need to be done with topic blocks 1 through 10 in language arts,
Yeah.
math 1 through 10 in math, science 1 through 10, social studies only 1 through 7, and then art 1 through 6, and PE 1 through 8. So,
Yeah, she just wanted to make sure, like, that wasn't accidentally sent to the wrong person.
nope, I sent that to all sixth graders. Yep.
All right.
Miss Birds,
Uh, yeah.
is there school on the 25th?
Technically, no. That's why you have like a little bit less, to do this week. It's because it's a teacher work day on the 25th. So I have to go to a meeting all day long, but the kids aren't actually in school. So, yeah.
So we get a 3-day weekend.
Yeah, but you know what? You can't take that 3-day weekend unless you're caught up with all of your work. So, in other words,
Yeah.
if you are caught up with all of your work, then great, take a 3-day weekend. If you're not caught up with all of your work, then unfortunately you'll have to work on Friday. So,
Okay.
all right. So we're going to go into our next lesson for Moon, Mars, and Beyond. And here's what I want you to remember about each one of these lessons that we do every week. They are directly related to the different jobs that you will apply for in a couple weeks. So once we are done kind of learning about all of these different jobs, then I will send you an application, and you'll get to kind of choose, hopefully. Hopefully you'll get your first choice of what you'll want to be. So yeah. All right, here we go. Taking a second. All right. Okay, so remember, I cannot see the chat anymore. So if you have a comment or a question, or you want to answer, you're just going to have to just say it out loud. All right, so we just need to remember the purpose behind the whole thing that we're doing. And that purpose is everyone has the ability to make a difference to themselves, their community, and their place. So we are going to demonstrate the process of inquiry. That just means asking questions. We're always
I have a
identifying.
question.
Okay,
What does WCO stand for?
world class outcome. Yep.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. So your world class outcome is to make sure that you are able to identify a problem or the problem, generate questions, and investigate possible solutions to the problem. So that's kind of what we're learning each week. Learning how to do, I should say. All right. So coordinate mapping. For some of you, this will be a review. Most sixth graders have seen some kind of coordinate system before. Fifth graders, maybe, and fourth graders, this might be brand new to you, but it's not hard and it's actually really fun. One of the basic needs of astronomers or people who work in the fields that deal with space is to give reasonable descriptions of the position of objects. So we need to be able to describe where to find something pretty easily. So we're going to be asked to navigate through the planets using a coordinate graph. So coordinate graphs are used to find our lost ship in space. So we're going to learn all about coordinate graphs. All right, so like I just said, today we're going to learn about the parts of a coordinate graph. We're going to learn how to plot points on that graph, and those points are called an ordered pair. And then, of course, you'll know the importance of coordinate graphs in helping you to find location. All right, a little bit of vocabulary. A coordinate. This is a number that identifies a point on a graph or a map, and that will make sense to you once we look at the video today. Axis. These are just simply lines on the graph, and you're going to see two lines or axes, and they're called the X and Y axis. But just think of them, they're just lines, okay? So don't let that word, freak you out. Coordinates. So the areas that are formed when two lines or axes intersect and they form four coordinates. And when you see the picture, you'll know what I'm talking about. Ordered pair is the list of two numbers. On a coordinate graph, the X coordinate is listed first, and then the Y coordinate is listed second. So to make that sound a little bit more simple, the X number is listed first, and then the Y number is listed second. And you'll see what I mean. All right, here we go. So today we're going to watch a little video to get more introduction to the coordinate graph. And then we are going to graph all of these points. And when we're done graphing the points, we're going to be, we'll have a map of Denver, or with Denver on it, Grand Junction, Colorado Springs, Pueblo, and Fort Collins. So using these coordinates, we'll be able to create a pretty cool little graph. All right, so are there any questions before we get started? No? Okay.
I'm pretty sure I got it.
Okay. All right, so here we go.
Brain pop!
Yes, it's my favorite. Oh, this better work. Oh my goodness. I hope they renewed our subscription. Okay. Oh, never mind. I don't want to log out. Coordinate pane. And here it is. All right. Oh, I already have logged in, but I'll log in again. Whatever. No! No!
This isn't good.
That happened to me also,
I
but you
know, and
renewed it.
oh my gosh, our secretary, she was gonna renew this over fall break, but maybe it hasn't gone through yet. Oh no.
This isn't good.
Well, don't worry. Don't worry. It's not like I can't explain it just by showing you, but let's see if we can find a different video. It's not a big deal.
You know what we should do maybe since I have my one back, I could maybe log in and I could share my screen or something.
Oh my goodness, that is perfect. You know what would be even easier? Why don't you just send me a message in the chat and tell me what your login, your username and password are.
Okay.
And if not, we can watch this video because that looks like it would work too.
Okay. Okay, wait one moment.
That's fine. Oh, that is such a bummer. I'm going to have to call the secretary and tell her that they haven't renewed us yet.
Yeah, I sent you my username.
Okay? Okay,
The
whoever.
other one I'll send you. I'll send you my password in private.
That works. That definitely works. Okay, somebody's playing music in the background. Go ahead and turn that off. Thank you. Oh, all right. Well, that is exactly what I typed in, and it didn't seem to work for me.
That was my login though.
Huh. Did it work for you when you did it a couple days ago?
It could be
Um,
something with the website.
I haven't tried my new username or password yet.
Okay, well, yeah, because that's the one that I just entered. And that's the one that we use for our school. Okay, so let's watch this one. And I'll just call the secretary and make sure they get that renewed. Okay, here we go.
What we're going to do in this video is, through a bunch of examples, familiarize ourselves with the XY coordinate plane. And first we're going to just look at some points that are already plotted and figure out their coordinates. Then we're going to look at some coordinates and figure out where those points are, and then we'll do one more problem. So let's
Okay, I'm going to stop him for just a second. I just want to point out that vocabulary again. The vocabulary axis means line. So here is the x-axis. I'm running my mouse across it right now. The y-axis or y-line is the one that goes vertically up and down, and I'm running my mouse along it right now. Now, another word was called coordinates. That was another vocabulary word. Here is a coordinate. Here's another one. See how it's broken up into 4 different like sections? Do you see that? Those are coordinates. Okay. Now, this point, point A and point B and point C, those are called ordered pairs. You can see over here, do you see how they're showing A and it says 4, comma 2? Well, what they did is they went over 4. See how I'm going over 4 and up 2. So that might not be exactly what he's talking about. So if I go over 4 and up 2, that would be where I would put my point. Okay? So you always go left and right first, then you go up and down second. Okay, so we'll see what he says.
figure out what are the coordinates of these points. So you have this point right here, A. So its x-coordinate, you can see it right there. You just drop down. Where does it intersect the x-axis? X is equal to 5. So it's the point 5, comma, and y is going to be equal to 6. 5, comma, 6.
Okay.
Now this point B here, what's the x-coordinate? It is 5 to the left. 5 to the left of the x-axis. This is negative 5. X-axis, x-coordinate is negative 5. Y-coordinate is, if you just go straight to the right, you're going to hit y is equal to 5. Y is equal to 5.
So that's an
Switch
ordered pair.
C. I think you're getting the hang of this. Let's do the y-coordinate first. The y-coordinate is 3. You see that right there. And then the x-coordinate is negative 2. Negative 2, you always put the x-coordinate first. That's just the convention we use. D. X-coordinate, negative 2. You see that right there. Y-coordinate, negative 2 as well.
Okay.
Let me get another color. E. Let's do the y-coordinate. Well, we'll figure it out first, but you always have to write it second. It's negative 4. You see that right there, the y-coordinate. The x-coordinate is 3. And then finally F. The x-coordinate is 2. And the y-coordinate is negative 6. Hopefully that.
Okay, so I'm going to stop you right there. Happy face into the chat if this is making sense so far. How he is finding the ordered pairs. Okay, good, Clara. Okay, don't worry. We'll go over it several times today. Okay, good, Tyler. Adam, what about you? And AJ? Okay. All right, so I'm going to let him go a little farther.
Gives you a sense of at least figuring out the coordinates. Now let's go the other way. Let's start with coordinates and figure out where those points are. So you have this first one. I'll do it lowercase a in parentheses to differentiate it from this uppercase a. So it's at 4, 2. X is equal to 4, y is equal to 2. X is equal to 4, y is equal to 2. So that's that point right there. Let's do the next one. Let me do it in a color that you'll be able to read. B, x is equal to negative 3, x is equal to negative 3, y is equal to 5.5. So you go all the way up to 5.5, right? Y is equal to 5.5. So that is the point lowercase b with parentheses around it.
Okay.
Then C, 4, negative 4. X is equal to 4, y is equal to negative 4. Right over there. And then one last one, I'll do it in orange. D, x is negative 2, y is negative 3. X is negative 2, y is negative 3. Right there. That's the D with parentheses. And you could have gone the other way.
Okay. So I want to point something out to you. Look at this coordinate right here where I'm showing my mouse. All of the ordered pairs will have positive numbers because look, everything on this x-axis is positive numbers, and everything, if you go up, is all positive numbers on the y-axis. So if you have a point in this coordinate, you're going to have positive and a positive. If you have points in this lower coordinate system here, you're going to have a positive y number, positive x number, and a negative y number, okay? All right, so I'm getting a little bit of feedback. I'm going to go ahead and mute just a couple people. Let's see if that helps. Now look at this coordinate up here. If you have a point in this section, you will have a negative x number and a positive y number, okay? And then if you have a point that is in this lower section, both of your numbers will be negative because you have your negative x numbers and your negative y numbers. All right. Okay, so hopefully that's making sense so far. Let's go back to our presentation and look at that vocabulary again. So what I was just saying, a coordinate is a number that identifies a point on a graph or a map. And let me just show you. Here's a coordinate. Okay. An axis are the lines on the graph. Here's your x-axis, and here's your y-axis. Okay. Coordinates, those are those 4 different areas that I was showing you. So here's coordinate 1. Here's coordinate 2. See how it's broken up because of the lines intersecting? Coordinate 3 and coordinate 4. And an ordered pair is a list of the 2 numbers. We always have the x number first, and then the y number is listed second. So here is an example of an ordered pair. Okay. All right, so let's see if we can do this together. And actually, at your house, since you have this presentation shared with you, you'll be able to do it as well if you want to do it later on your own. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and select my background, and I need to find my work mat, and I want my coordinate grid. I think I have a better one. Let me see. I think there's a better one. No. Yeah, that one's pretty good. So what we're looking at right here, guys, is just this first little section, okay? So what we're looking at is just our, oops, darn it, that first section. So now I have to go ahead and plot those points that I was looking at. So, I'm going to need a bigger one because it goes up to 15 and it goes up to 14. So let me find a bigger one. Darn it, that one's so nice and pretty. Oh, well.
Miss Burns,
Yes?
Why do they call it the the x-axis and the y-axis?
I don't know. I think they have to label them so you know which one you're talking about. But I don't know why they came up with the word or the letter X or the letter Y. I don't know. That's a really good question. But it's just to, let you know which line we're talking about. And right here, we're talking about the X line or X axis, and the vertical one, the up and down one, is called the Y axis. All right.
Because last year my teacher told us about it, but we were all wondering why they call it the x and y.
I don't know. I don't know. In
Well,
algebra, we use X and Y quite a bit. And so maybe they just thought it was a popular number and it was
That
easy for people to remember.
it's just probably because eventually scientists started using numbers instead of numbers. They started using letters because there wasn't always enough numbers to do everything.
Yeah, exactly. All right, this point that I just labeled right there is the point 0, 0, because I have not moved at all. I have not moved over and I have not moved up or down. So that point in the very center will always be 0, 0. So just kind of keep that in mind. Um, let's get a different color. No, not blue. Let's green because it'll show up better on this map. Okay, so our very first city that we're gonna plot together is Denver. So
yeah.
on my x-axis, I'm gonna go 15 over, and on my y-axis, I'm gonna go 14 up. Okay. So let me count. Oh man, this might not even be big enough. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Oh, let's just pretend. Let's pretend that this is 14. Um, and then I need this thing to go away. Go away. There we go. Then I need to go up 14. So 1, 2, 3. Let's just say, oh, you know what? It's gonna be totally off the map if I keep doing this. All right. Hopefully I don't confuse anybody too much. But I'm gonna kind of skip count and I'm gonna say that this is 2, this is 4, this is 6, this is 8, this is 10, this is 12, this is 14. This would be 16, so we wanted to go halfway in between for 14. So then I'm going to count up by twos. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. Okay. So there's Denver. All right. Hopefully I haven't confused you all too much. On your normal graph, obviously these would be, each square would be counting as 1. So this would be 1, this would be 2, this would be 3, and so forth. But because I have kind of a small area to work with, I skip counted and I said that this was 2, this is 4, this is 6, this is 8, and so on. All right, so here's Denver. Let's get a different color and we'll do our next city. All right, our next city is Grand Junction. So I have X, oops, wow, that went really fast. That's really annoying how it does that. Okay. Our next city is Grand Junction. So we have X equals 4 and Y equals 15. All right. So here we go. 2, 4, and then Y equals 15. So there's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13. All right, sorry. That would be 14 and this would be 16. So it would be halfway in between. Okay, so let me label this Grand Junction. Okay, this pin is like really hard to use, by the way. All right, so then let's go back.
It's a drying tool, so you can make it thinner and etc.
I think I'm gonna have to make it thinner because yeah, it's really hard to use.
Yeah.
All right, Colorado Springs is x equals 15 and y equals 10. All right, so let's go back. We'll get a different color for Colorado Springs. We'll do yellow. Okay, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. Okay, so here's 15 again. And then what was my y coordinate?
10.
10.
Hold on.
2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Okay. All right, so there's Colorado Springs. All right. Let's do our next city, and that's Pueblo. That's my hometown. All right. So x equals 16 and y equals 7. So you guys need to help me remember that because I apparently can't remember. All right. So x equals 15. We've already determined that 15 is right here where I made that mark. And y equals 7. So 2, 4, 6, and here would be 8. So right in between is 7. So I'll label that with a P for Pueblo. All right, and our last city is Fort Collins. That's where I went to school the first time. All right, x equals 14 and y equals 19. So remember that for me. Okay, so change my color. We'll do brown, I guess. That's the only other color. 14 we know is right here because this mark is 15. And then here we go. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. Okay.
It's 19.
Oh, it was 19. Darn it. See, I can't remember. So it's more like right there. Fort Collins. Okay.
Pueblo was 16.
Oh. What was 16?
Pueblo?
Yeah, Pueblo was 16, so I should have went over a little bit farther, huh, for Pueblo. The Pueblo would have been right here on this line. It wasn't at 15.
Miss Burns,
Yes?
when you went to school in Fort Collins, what college did you go to?
Colorado State? Yeah. To Colorado State University for my bachelor's degree, and then I went to the University of Colorado for my master's degree. So anyway, that is a story for another time. But here we are, guys. We just created a map using a coordinate plane. So now I can go and I can actually label each one of these ordered pairs. So Grand Junction was x equals 4, y equals 15. All right, so let's go put that. So my ordered pair is 4, comma, 15 for Grand Junction. For Denver, my ordered pair is x15, y14. Okay, so my ordered pair would be 15, comma, 14. And so on. So I'm making this really ugly because this pen is really hard to use. But what we just did was pretty simple, really. We just worked with only this one section of the coordinate plane. And in our moon, Mars, and beyond, we're probably only going to have to worry about this very first coordinate where everything is a positive number. All of your X numbers are positive. All of your Y numbers are positive. And it's actually pretty simple. So really, well, it's time for some questions, if we have any. All right, so what do we now know about the coordinate plane? Anyone? Well, we should know that it makes graphing points a lot easier, right? Let's go back to that very first slide. And what we should see about a coordinate plane now is that it helps us put points on a map, basically. And that's what we're going to be doing when we're navigating through the planets and through space, is we're going to be able to put those different points on a coordinate plane. Okay?
Mrs. Bruns, can you hear me?
I can.
Okay, I can't hear you for a little bit for some reason.
Uh-oh. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, perfect. All right. And then, how will this help us make a difference? If we're able to graph points on a graph, and navigate through space, how will this help us make a difference?
It will make it easier and faster for us to find our way.
Absolutely. It's going to make it a lot easier and a lot faster for us to find our way while we're navigating through space. And it's a good way to communicate with everybody. So if everybody is on the same page as far as where something is, it's easy to say, okay, well, Denver is at 1514. And then everybody knows how to get to that point quickly because we're talking about the same thing. All right, and how will this knowledge tie into our solution?
For finding them?
Yeah, really. That's really all that we're trying to do is find them. So if we're able to communicate about the planets and other things that we're graphing quickly, then we'll have a better shot at finding them. Very good. All right. Are there any other questions that I can answer today about coordinate planes or about vocabulary or about graphing points? Any questions? Tristan, is it making a little bit more sense to you now that really you just count over how many places over on the x-axis and then you count how many places up on the y-axis and you just put a point?
Yep, it's making more sense now.
Good, good. So yeah, really, I mean, I just really just counted and I counted over and then I counted up and then I would put a point and that's it. So it really is, yeah, it really is kind of fun. And I know sixth graders have probably seen this before. This is probably new to some of my fourth graders, but all right, guys. Well, if we don't have any other questions, I want to go back to our agenda. Okay, so this is shared with you. You have it in your email. You also have it in your Google Drive. Should be really easy for you to find. What you can do if you want to go back to this lesson is all you need to do is just click on this link and go back to the lesson, and then you can practice. It will pull up this website for you, and you can practice plotting points if you'd like to. Remember, I chose the backgrounds. I went to work mat. And actually, I really like this one, your first coordinate grid, because that's really what we're going to work with the most is all positive numbers. So, okay. Then, last but not least, by Thursday, I sent you a short story basically to read, and the story is called Zoos, Pros and Cons. That's the name of the story I sent you. All I want you to do is read it and then just decide which side you agree with. That's all you have to do. There's two different sides, obviously, to the story, and you're just going to decide which one you agree with. So, are there any questions on what you need to do for Thursday?
No.
What if you're having
And after all of my virtual classrooms today, I will send this out again just to make sure that you have it. I mean, it's already been sent to you, so some of you might have already pulled it up. But yeah, that's all you have to do for Thursday is just read the story. So, all right, my 9:30 group, you are free to go. I will see you later.
Wait, Mrs. Bruns.
Yes,
Hey, I want to say something.
go ahead. You're on.
Oh, I was gonna ask maybe if we can stay for a little bit and chat, but I guess not.
Oh, well, I actually have my next virtual classroom starting right now. Um, so I did get an email though from your mom, and I will write her back, and we can talk about a time for a conference. Okay?
Hey, Mrs. Bruns.
Yes.
One thing, how did you open that virtual manipulatives or the drawing thing?
Oh
How
yeah,
did
the
you
virtual
open that?
manipulatives. Yeah, I
Yeah.
will show you where that is. It's on the Moon, Mars, and Beyond, and right here where it says coordinate plane practice, right here. If you click on that,
Uh-huh.
it will take you to that website where I was pulling up the virtual manipulatives. It's
All right,
coming.
and then I could just favorite the website if I have to.
Uh-huh, that's right.
All
And
right.
remember, I went to backgrounds, and then I went to work mats, and then I went to one of these coordinate
All
grids.
right. Thank you.
Yep, no problem. All right, 9:30 group. I will see you later.
Okay, bye.
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 And welcome 10:15 group.
Hi.
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 Bye.
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 All right. So how was fall break, my 10:15 group?
It was nice.
Yeah, I know. It always goes so fast. What do you do? All right. Well, let me tell you what we're going to be doing today. I think everybody's kind of just starting to log on, and some of you saw the very end of the 9:30 class, and that's totally fine. Yeah, Lucas, you have a question before we start?
When are we gonna show our maps, by the way?
I was just about to ask or tell you that. Um,
Oh, okay.
yeah. So if I'm looking at my agenda right now, and I just wanted to let everybody know if you have not RSVP'd yet, to click on those links and RSVP today. If you've already done it, then great, fantastic. Yes, Emma.
Um, I um, my dad was going to help me, and then he forgot, and so we just used the information from last year. I forgot we had to actually make a map.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. Well, and a couple kids in the last group, they forgot to bring them, and so they're gonna just email them to me later. Not a
Okay.
big deal. We're gonna share the ones that we have here today, and it sounds like Lucas, you probably have yours ready to go.
Can I be the presenter?
Absolutely. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna turn the screen over to Lucas. So we're gonna be looking at Lucas's screen, and he's gonna pull up his map and. Um, So, Lucas, you should see something that says show my screen and go ahead and click on that.
Can you see my screen?
It's coming up. It takes just a minute.
Okay.
Yeah, now we can see it. Yeah, we can see your screen. We're ready.
Okay. This is my map.
Okay.
As you can see, it's each square equals 0.304. Let me get my paper.
Meters.
Yeah, wait.
Okay, so
0.3048 meters.
you made yours pretty difficult. um, I actually was thinking a lot more simple, and one square might equal 1 meter. But hey, if you want to make it, your own, go for it.
As you can see, here's my closet.
Can you zoom out a little bit? Because it's all we can see is your bed and nightstand so far. So zoom out.
Okay, so here's my closet
There we go.
right here. And then my bookshelf.
Yeah,
And then, of course, my door to get into my closet.
right?
And a door to get out of my room so I'm not stuck in there. And my desk right here, if you can see
Uh-huh.
that. And then my little chair, my computer, and then my bed, my nightstand, my little nightstand next to my bed, and that's about it. Very simple.
Yeah, no, it's perfect actually, and what I was really looking for is to make sure that we had some kind of scale, and we do. He said that one of those little squares that you're looking at equals 0.304 meters. um, Kind of difficult, but hey, that's what he wanted it to show. So, all right, Lucas, that was a good job.
Thank you.
Do I have a volunteer to go next? Jaden, did you do a map of your room? You
I
didn't.
forgot.
Oh, okay. All right. And it sounds like Emma forgot, but that's okay. I at least wanted to see a couple. Sienna, what about you?
I can kind of make it. I'll just sketch it on my piece of paper I've got right here, real quick.
Oh, don't worry about that.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll just go ahead and go on. I wanted
Okay.
to see at least one map. Tyler, did you happen to do one? Okay, I'm gonna make you
Yeah.
the presenter so that we can see your screen now, Tyler. So go ahead and click on Show My Screen. Okay, perfect. And now we can see it. So go ahead and pull it up and make it big for us.
Hang on. That was it, but
There it is. Yep. Okay, so it's pulling up.
just lagging right.
There it is. Okay, so tell us about your scale first.
Well, this is my room, and um, right here's my carpet. I kind of forgot to write carpet on it, but then I have a futon right here. Oh,
Okay.
but each two squares equals 1 foot.
Oh, okay. So Tyler used the customary scale, which is what we're used to using here in the United States. Um, in Moon, Mars, and beyond, we'll be using the metric system, but that's okay, Tyler. I understand thinking in terms of feet and inches is a lot more normal for us here in America. Yes, Lucas.
In when I did mine, it actually 1 square equals 1 foot. So I just put that instead of I put meters instead because we're working with meters, but that's what it originally equals.
Oh, I see what you did now, Lucas. Okay. Yeah, you're right, because 1 foot is just a part of a meter. It's about a third of a
Yeah,
meter. That's right.
that's what I did with my room, and then I just went to Google and translated to meters.
That's right. Oh, wow. And see, that's kind of how we have to think. Because, we're going to be working with the metric system in this context. But we're used to talking about feet and inches. All right, Tyler, go ahead and tell us about the rest of the furniture we're looking at.
This is my bed. This is the way out of my room. I have a window here, but I didn't really know how to kind of write that down.
Oh, yeah. Okay. And that's okay. Don't worry about that. All
Uh,
right.
here's my brother's cabinet. Here's my cabinet. Here's my bed. Here's my cabinet, and here's my brother's cabinet.
Very good. And really, this is pretty proportional, what we're looking at here. It makes sense that the futon would be about the same size as the bed, that the lockers would be about that big. He's saying that 2 squares equals 1 foot. So it looks like his futon, for instance, I'm just looking at that. His futon would be about one, two, three, maybe about 6 feet long, and that's totally appropriate. So good job. All right. And Tim, do you want to go next? Is that what you're telling me in the chat? Tim, are you there? Or maybe he's telling me he has to go for a second. Okay, maybe that's what he meant by I want to go. Okay, well, don't worry about it. We will go back to my screen.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, that was really good, guys. And so we'll go ahead and move on. Today, we're going to be doing something super fun. And I know my sixth graders have probably seen this before. And, fifth graders might have seen it. Either way, it's not hard. It's actually a lot of fun. I really like coordinate mapping. I was kind of bummed because our Brain Pop subscription has not been renewed yet, but I found a different video and it's just as good from the Khan Academy. But let's go ahead and talk about what we're doing today. All right. So remember, I'm not going to be able to see my chat anymore. Um, oh, Sienna, did you make a map? Is that
Yeah,
what you're telling me in the chat?
yeah.
Oh, all right. Well, here, before I start, I'm going to make you the presenter. We'll look at yours before I switch gears.
Me too.
So how do I put my map on the screen?
Oh, you drew it. Okay, hold it up to your webcam then. Just go ahead and hold it up to your webcam. Okay, maybe a little closer. And okay, yep, hold it right about there, back a little bit. Okay, go ahead and explain it for us. Tell us what we're looking at.
So my scale is 4 4 meters are well 4 centimeters is 1 meter and 2 squares is 1 centimeter.
Okay.
And so then over here I have my sister's desk, then I have my closet,
Good.
and then there's my bunk bed, and then there's my desk, and the window and door.
Oh, very good. Okay. And really, guys, what I was really getting at is to look at your scales and to see if your scale made sense. Um, and we can't really see your picture too well, but all of the scales and everything that you said makes sense. Um, and all of the scales that everybody showed us today. So I didn't want to see somebody drawing a bed that was like 50 meters long because that wouldn't be right. I mean, it just wouldn't. Nobody has a bed that big. But we
Like
all,
king size.
yeah, oh yeah, that would be astronomical. So all of us made a scale that made sense, and that's really what I was hoping to see. All
My
right,
screen and everything's frozen.
yeah, we're gonna go ahead and present. Yeah, go ahead, Jaden.
I'm actually gonna do the project anyway, even though the week is over for that map thing. I'm just gonna do the project anyway and show it next virtual.
That'll be perfect. Thank you so much, Jaden. All right, well, let's get into, whoa, coordinate mapping. Went a little fast there. Today, we will learn about parts of a coordinate graph. We will learn how to plot points of an ordered pair. And then we're going to learn about the importance of coordinate graphs in helping us find location. Okay. All right, some vocabulary that you're going to learn today if you haven't heard these words before. Some of you might have, but a coordinate is just a number that identifies a point on a graph or a map. An axis are lines on a graph, and we're going to talk about the x-axis and the y-axis today. And then quadrants, there's going to be 4 different quadrants, and really when I show you the picture, it's going to make more sense. I have to just kind of show that visual. And then an ordered pair is a list of 2 numbers. On a coordinate graph, we always list the x coordinate or number first, and then we list the y coordinate second. Okay. So my little brain pop video, we did not get our subscription renewed yet. So I have a different video. So I'm gonna go ahead and show that. And I'm getting some background noise. So go ahead and mute you guys for the video. just so that we can have it nice and quiet. Okay. Whoop. So I'm going to back it up. Maybe. Back up video. And here we go.
What we're going to do in this video is, through a bunch of examples, familiarize ourselves with the XY coordinate plane. And first we're going to just...
And before he goes any farther, I'm just going to show you those vocabulary words that I was talking about just a minute ago. All right. I am running my mouse across the x-axis right now. It's the x-axis or line. Now I'm running my mouse along the y-axis. So the y-axis is vertical or up and down, and the x-axis is horizontal. Tyler, you're unmuted. Go ahead.
My computer's frozen and everything, so I can chat and...
Uh-oh. Okay, well, I will leave your microphone on because we can definitely hear you. Can you see the screen that says coordinate plane?
No, it's frozen. It was frozen ever since you stopped presenting me.
Oh no. Is that happening for anybody else?
Me. Not me.
Nope.
No? Okay, Tyler, I want you to go ahead and log out of the virtual classroom and then come back in. Usually that helps.
I can't, whenever I hover over anything, it gives me the spinning wheel of doom.
It
And
won't
so I
let
can't click on it.
it won't let you push the red button and X out.
Nope.
Can you
Try pushing the ESC button on the
upper
on the
left,
keyboard.
the escape button? Will it help you or will it work then?
Nope.
Okay.
Try holding your finger on it.
What you can do, Tyler, is, and it's not really good for your computer, but sometimes you have to do this. You can do a hard shutdown. So push the power button and just hold it down, and it will turn off your entire computer. And then you'll have to reboot it and come back to the virtual classroom in a couple minutes.
Okay.
Okay, we'll see you in a minute. You'll be fine with this. Don't worry. This will be cake for you. So.
And pie.
And pie. All right, we'll see you in a minute, Tyler. All right, guys. So, like I just said, this is the axis, and the quadrants. Quadrants are the sections that these lines create. So you can see that there are 4 different quadrants. Here's quadrant 1. I'm kind of running my mouse. Here's quadrant 2, 3, and 4. Okay. For the purposes of Moon, Mars, and beyond, we're going to work mostly in this very first coordinate. It's the easiest coordinate, and most of our work will be in there. But this video that we're about to watch actually uses all 4 coordinates, and that's okay. So I'm going to go ahead and play the video.
Look at some points that are already plotted and figure out their coordinates. Then we're going to look at some coordinates and figure out where those points are, and then we'll do one more problem. So let's figure out what are the coordinates of these points. So you have this point right here, A. So it's x coordinate. You can see it right there. You just drop down. Where does it intersect the x-axis? X is equal to 5. Going to 5, comma, and y is going to be equal to 6. 5, comma, 6. Now there's point B here. What's the x-coordinate? It is...
Okay, so look how easy that was. To find the x-coordinate, all he did was he counted over 5, and then he counted up 6. And so that's how you would write the ordered pair, 5, comma, 6.
5 to the left. 5 to the left of the x-axis. This is negative 5. X-axis, x-coordinate is negative 5. Y-coordinate is, if you just go straight to the right, you're going to hit y is equal to 5. Y is equal to 5. Let me switch colors. C. I think you're getting the hang of this. Let's do the y-coordinate first. The y-coordinate is 3. You see that right there. And then the x-coordinate is negative 2. -2, you always put the x coordinate first. That's just the convention we use. D, x coordinate, -2. You see that right there. Y coordinate, -2 as well. Get another color. E, let's do the y coordinate. Well, we'll figure it out first, but you always have to write it second. It's -4. You see that right there, the y coordinate. The x coordinate is 3. And then finally F.
Okay, I'm going to pause it so far. All right, so far, is this making sense how he is finding the ordered pairs for each one of these points? Go ahead, type into the chat a happy face, or you can just say yes.
Yes.
Okay. I mean, really, he is just literally counting over, and it's labeled for you. Really pretty easy. Okay, let's keep going.
F. The x coordinate is 2. The y coordinate is -6. Hopefully that gives you a sense of at least figuring out the coordinates. Now let's go the other way. Let's start with coordinates and figure out where those points are. So you have this first one. I'll do it lowercase a in parentheses to differentiate it from this uppercase a. So it's at 4, 2. X is equal to 4, y is equal to 2. X is equal to 4, y is equal to 2. So that's that point right there. Let's do the next one. Let me do it in a color that you'll be able to read. B, x is equal to -3, x is equal to -3, y is equal to 5.5. So you go all the way up to 5.5, right? Y is equal to 5.5. So that is the point, lowercase b with parentheses around it. Then C, 4
Okay, and that's actually all that we really need to see of that particular video. So most of us are saying that, yeah, it's looking pretty easy. And actually in our Moon, Mars, and Beyond, it's actually going to be even easier than that. So I'm gonna actually do a little practice with you. And what we're gonna do is get a coordinate graph, and we're gonna map these different points. We're gonna map Denver, Grand Junction, Colorado Springs, Pueblo, and Fort Collins. And we're going to graph them using the X and Y coordinates, okay? So let me pull up. Okay, so somebody's making a little noise in the background. I'm going to go ahead and mute a couple people. All right, so I'm pulling up a blank coordinate map right now. So give me just a second. Okay. All right, so what you're looking at is called a coordinate grid. And so I'm going to go down here, turn on my pen, and I'm going to label the x-axis first. Remember, axis is just a fancy word for line. So here's your x line. I'm running my pen along it. And here's the y-axis or line. Okay. So let's just, I mean, I'm not going to have a whole lot of room to label these, but let's just kind of come down here and count. So this would be 1, this would be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and so on. Does that make sense so far? That this would be number 1, this would be 2, 3, and so on. Yeah? Thumbs up? Okay, then same thing would apply. If I'm going up the y-axis, this would be 1 right here. This would be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so on. In Moon, Mars, and Beyond, we're going to be working with mostly this section of the graph, the one that I'm kind of circling right now. Not to say that these other 3 sections aren't important. This is where we're going to do most of our graphing, though, is just this very first coordinate. So I'm going to show you a different background that shows only this first coordinate. Okay, and I want to get rid of all these marks I just made. Oops. That's not what I wanted to do. I want to get rid of my marks. Maybe I'll go to this trash can. Maybe that'll work. Trash can. No.
Crash car.
Oh, there we go. Perfect. Okay.
There we go.
Now I have to bring my work map back up. All right, so we'll go back to that first coordinate grid. All right, so we are going to graph some points. We don't have enough room because these are kind of big numbers like 15 and 14, and my coordinate plane only goes up to 10. So I'm just going to pretend. I'm going to pretend that this is x equals 5 and y equals 4 instead of 15 and 14. So I'm just going to take the 1 away. So x equals 5 and y equals 4. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to count, change my color. You always start at 0, 0. Here is 0, 0. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then up 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Put a mark right here, and I'm going to label this as Denver. Okay, D for Denver. Then we're going to go back. Oh, either one. Yeah, doesn't really matter. Sorry.
And the baby down, they grow.
Yeah. Yep. You're okay. Sorry, guys. I was just talking to someone else. All right, so Grand Junction, y or x equals 4, y equals 15. I'm going to change that to x equals 1, y equals 5. Okay. So I'm going to kind of go over here. 1 and then up 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm going to put my point and I'm going to label this Grand Junction. Okay, give me a happy face in the chat if that's making sense so far. Okay. All right. Okay, so what I'm doing first is I always do my x coordinate numbers first. So I always go to the left or right first. Then I do my y coordinates second. So I always go up and down second, okay? So you always list your x coordinate first and then your y coordinate second. So yes, go ahead, Lucas.
So it's kind of like Battleship almost, where it's like letters are at the bottom, or not letters exactly, but numbers and stuff like that.
That's right. It is kind of the same idea as Battleship. So right now what I'm doing is I'm labeling Denver. So 5 is my first number, and then 4 is my second number, and that is called an ordered pair. So 5 comma 4 is called an ordered pair, and 5 comma 4 is represented by this dot right here. Okay, so pretty easy stuff. At your house, you have this presentation that I shared with you, and if you want, you can click on this link called Coordinate Plane Practice, and it'll pull up what I was just showing you. And what you can do is you can go to your backgrounds, work maps, and you can pull up either this coordinate grid, that first one I was showing you, or you could pull up this coordinate grid, which is just that first top right section. And then you can practice pointing, oh my goodness, plotting some numbers. Pretty easy stuff though. I don't think that we have to drill that into the ground much more. Go ahead, Lucas.
There's one more question I have about that. Why would you put like the 5 slash or the 5 comma 4? I don't understand that exactly. Is it like I just don't understand. What is it because they're really close together, or what's the?
Oh, well, okay, let's just review that little section again. I labeled this dot for Denver
Uh-huh.
5 comma 4 because I went over 5 times and then I
Uh-huh.
up 4 times. So
Oh,
that's why it's called 5 comma 4. For Grand Junction, I went over 1 and up 5. So the ordered pair for Grand Junction would be 1 comma 5. That
oh.
makes sense?
Yeah, I was because that the Grand Junction is by the 5, and then the Denver is by 4. So I was like, what was why are they connected? Or for some reason I was just curious.
Oh, that's
But
okay. Well, yeah, just always remember you go over first and then up second. So I
okay.
went over 5, up 4, and that's why it's called 5 comma 4.
Oh, okay. Thanks.
Uh-huh. All
Yep.
right. So Tim, let's remember to keep our chat on topic, please, um, so that we don't get anybody else confused. All right. I'm going to go back to our agenda for the day. You are more than welcome to click on the presentation, and then you can go to that screen that I was showing you right here, and you can click on this and practice on your own. It'll be pretty easy. All right, for Thursday, I sent you guys a short story I would like you to read. It's called Zoos, Pros and Cons. All you have to do is read it and decide which side you agree with, because there are two different sides to zoos. Some people agree with them, some people do not. So all you need to do, you don't have to write anything. All you need to do is just make your own decision. Which side do you agree with? So I'm gonna, I've already sent this to you, but I'll send it to you guys again just to make sure that you have it. Okay? All right. So are there any questions about today? Are we good? All right. Well, welcome back from fall break, y'all, and have a great Monday. I will hopefully see a lot of you tomorrow at the pumpkin patch. Remember to RSVP for both of these dates if you haven't done so already. Okay?
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right. So, bye, everyone. Say bye.
Bye.
Bye. Okay.